Welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, the only show on Indian television where you, the MSME, get center stage. This is ETNow special daily initiative to give MSMEs and entrepreneurs the opportunity to be front and center on every industry and area that matters to you. We travel to 20 different cities across the length and breadth of India to be able to reach you, the MSME entrepreneur, directly. This is some of the highlights of a panel discussion that I did in Lucknow promoting Business in India 2.0. We had some of the biggest names and voices from Lucknow joining us to talk about how you, the MSME entrepreneur, can look at growing as well. Do take a look. When it comes to doing business in India right now, I want to inject a dose of positivity, if I may, and talk about what some of the benefits are of being based in a place like Lucknow, outside of the metros. And I want to open this up to the entire panel. What may be the one or two things that you would say definitely has worked in the favor of being based outside a metro?
So I think the best part of being in Lucknow is that it is the state capital. So, and the center of a lot of political and very hectic activity in the last 6-7 years. So it is a center of attraction. As of now, there is a lot of infrastructure development. So in that terms, it has become conducive for business.
I'd like to add something. India is now a startup nation. And UP, and specifically for that, Lucknow, is going to be the capital at the heart of that. That's what we envision as an angel investor or as an incubator. That when the Chief Minister, Honorable Chief Minister, promised that he is going to bring in the India's biggest incubator in town, that is something that shows their intention of trying to support the new ecosystem. The amount of digitalization that is changing in the government of India, as well as even in the state, also shows the commitment of them trying to change. We should also see that the nation is a 71, 72-year-old country. It is evolving faster than ever. It will take time to build up.
We get a lot of inquiries on a twice-a-week call-in show that we do as part of the Leaders of Tomorrow. And a lot of people tell us that because we are not based in a metro, we find it very difficult to get funding, to be able to convince investors that we have a sound business model, that this is a business. So from the point of view of funding, from the point of view of entrepreneurs, from the point of view, of course, of the industry body, if you can talk to us about perhaps what your own experience has been, what your thoughts are on that.
So about funding, so I can tell you this, a good idea gets funded no matter where it comes from. There have been a lot of incidences wherein a tier 2 or a tier 3 town person has got funded. The only thing was that India had a golden triangle, a Delhi, a Bangalore and a Mumbai. So that is quite changing because of the new regime of the country is changing the opportunity to everyone everywhere. And that's the change that a tier 2 gives you an opportunity. It just has to be just a good model.
This is based on what Sachin was saying to us earlier in terms of ease of doing business. The central government has adopted single window clearance as one of its key policies and themes, promising to move India up the ease of doing business value chain globally. What can perhaps fix then what is being announced as a policy and what's really happening on the ground? I want to open this up for the panel.
So I've been a brief part of the Planning Commission of UP in the higher education, member expert to the group. And there was something that we found out. It is the maximum of the people are leaving by the class 8th. So I personally felt it was the class 5th beyond, that is class 6th onwards, the entrepreneurship should be inculcated in the curriculum itself. And that's where the person gets that opportunity to get in. At the same time, I'm very happy with the agenda that you had, budget. The government has understood the value of AI, the blockchain technology, maybe not in the crypto, they don't see that as a legal tender, but in everything else. And that is something which is very promising for me, not just as a VC or as a entrepreneur or even as a citizen. Because I see those better interventions will give me better results. And as you rightly said, the single window system, those systems will work better and will be more responsive with these kind of technologies, which are people and system governed rather than a government governing them. So there are certain new policies that the Industrial Development Department as well as the IT department has added on. And I personally felt the changes happening very fast on it. But there was a challenge that every time those policies being made were not actually in sync, as he rightly said, with what the people wanted. Since 2017, 13th December, the new IT policy came, There have been already 5 amendments to that policy. It's just 1.5 months. So yes, they are now listening to us. They are trying to take in our thought process and evolve even the governance systems.
Let me talk to you, Vinayak, about the role of technology. We talk so much about technology being, of course, a great leveler. Technology also gives opportunities to someone who's not necessarily perhaps based in a big town to be able to start a business and scale that business. Do you see enough understanding, even as we're saying there isn't, skilling for jobs of the future like AI, etc., enough understanding of the role of technology for small businesses? Do you see enough of them using it?
So I'll take this question as a two-way activity. One is the ecosystem actually responding to that part, and the second one is the citizens also understanding what the ecosystem is trying to provide. So coming back again to the budget, what the government has said, that 500 million new Wi-Fi is coming to the rural village. I'm very happy. The citizens of the country will actually be able to have those opportunities which was not there with them. As he rightly said, that he knows the e-way payment will actually work on even a Sunday, so you can't skip the payment. And there will be much more things to learn. So learning-wise, as you said, the technology, yes, it was not percolated down to the maximum of the citizens because of the reason the technology was out of reach. But then I'm very happy the government is actually building those bridges for the people to actually learn that. And that I'm pretty sure will actually enhance the use of technology. And there are a lot of people using the word blockchain around and AIs around and AR, VRs around. But the fact, out of the 37 companies we have funded, there are only 7 or 8 of them which are in the space of tech. Only 5 or 6 in the space of tech-enabled. Everything else is going to be something which is an actual problem-solving, solution-giving company. So yes, that's actually working.
Thank you all very much for your time this evening to talk about really promoting business in India 2.0, what's it going to take, policy initiative, and also framework and funding. Ladies and gentlemen, can I request for a round of applause for our panel tonight, and thank you all very much for coming in.